A veteran's stand. From humiliation to honor. The bustling terminal of Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport fell silent as a high-ranking Pentagon official knelt before an elderly black veteran, his medals scattered across the cold tile floor. "Sergeant Major Thompson," she declared, her voice resonating with authority. "On behalf of a grateful nation, I apologize." This moment, born from a shocking act of disrespect, would spark a reckoning that rippled far beyond the airport. How did a routine security check escalate into a national firestorm? Let's unravel the story of one man's dignity and the fight to reclaim it. At 68, Sergeant Major James Thompson adjusted his dress uniform in the mirror of his modest Atlanta home. His shoulders, though touched by arthritis, still carried the pride of 35 years in the Army. Today was no ordinary day. The Pentagon had chosen him to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award honoring black veterans of the post-Vietnam era. His reflection showed a man weathered by service, his eyes holding memories of sacrifice and resilience. Beside him sat a display case of medals, each one a testament to moments most could never fathom. The Bronze Star, centered prominently, wasn't just his, it belonged to his father, a Korean War hero denied respect in a segregated America. His daughter, Rachel, called from downstairs. A civil rights attorney at 38, she'd inherited her father's resolve, but channeled it through law. "Looking sharp, Sergeant Major," she teased, her smile warm. James chuckled, deflecting praise as always. They drove to the airport in her SUV, the Atlanta skyline a reminder of progress, yet James knew some things hadn't changed enough. At a terminal restaurant, a white server ignored their table, and their bill included charges for drinks they hadn't ordered. Rachel's eyes flashed, but James calmed her. "I'm used to it," he said. Her reply was fierce. "That's the problem, Dad. You shouldn't be." At the TSA checkpoint, James noticed the pattern. White travelers breezed through, while a black couple faced extra scrutiny. When he presented his military ID, TSA officer Nathan Carter, a 32-year-old with a permanent scowl, marked his boarding pass for additional screening. James complied, years of discipline guiding him. But when Carter demanded to inspect his medal case, James politely asked for care. Carter's response was icy. "Military doesn't make you special." With a rough tug, he opened the case, spilling medals onto a tray. The Bronze Star fell to the floor with a sharp ping. Before James could retrieve it, Carter kicked it aside, smirking. "Collect your trinkets when we're done." The word trinkets stung like a slap. Travelers stopped, some recording on their phones. An elderly white woman shook her head. A black businessman watched with grim recognition. A young black TSA trainee, Michael Hayes, looked uneasy but stayed silent under his supervisor's glare. James knelt to gather his medals, his hands trembling not from fear but from decades of suppressed rage. As he reached for the Bronze Star, an airport janitor, Henry Davis, 72, knelt beside him. "Take your time, brother," Henry whispered. "Vietnam, 68 to 70. They can't take our dignity." He slipped the medal into James's hand, creating a diversion to shield him from prying eyes. Unbeknownst to James, a video of the incident was already viral, captioned, "Black War Hero Disrespected by TSA at Atlanta Airport." It hit 30,000 views in minutes, fueling outrage. Rachel, alerted by a friend, watched in horror and activated her network, texting Congressman David Ellis. Meanwhile, Deputy Secretary of Defense Laura Mitchell, 52, was in Atlanta for a summit. In her SUV, she saw the video and recognized James from 2009, when his unit saved hers in Afghanistan. "Change course," she ordered her driver. "We're going to the terminal." At his gate, James tried to repair his medal case, unaware of the storm brewing. A white teacher, Emily Carter, offered to help, listening as he shared stories of his service. Other travelers gathered, drawn by his quiet dignity. But TSA officer Carter, misreading the crowd, called security, claiming a disturbance. Officer Ramirez, a Hispanic veteran, arrived and saw no threat, just a veteran sharing his story. He escorted James to his gate, a subtle act of respect. The video now had millions of views. Airport Director Susan Hayes scrambled to contain the PR crisis, while TSA headquarters dispatched investigators. In a secure office, Carter defended himself. "I followed protocol." His supervisor wasn't convinced. especially after Henry Davis produced security footage showing Carter's deliberate kick. The crowd's anger grew as the video played on a terminal screen. James was about to board when an official pulled him back to the terminal. Confused, he followed, only to see Laura Mitchell striding toward him. The crowd hushed as she saluted. "Sergeant Major Thompson," she said, "we met in Kandahar. Your unit saved my life." She turned to Carter and his supervisor, Karen Wells. "Explain why a hero was treated like this." Carter stammered about protocol, but Mitchell's gaze was unrelenting. When Michael Hayes, the trainee, spoke up, confirming Carter's deliberate disrespect, the crowd erupted. Mitchell demanded an investigation and a public apology. Instead, Carter doubled down. If he wasn't so entitled about his medals, this wouldn't have happened. Gasps followed. Henry Davis stepped forward with the footage, sealing Carter's fate. Mitchell turned to James, her voice softening. "This nation owes you more than an apology." She announced a review of TSA practices and saluted James again, sparking applause. On a military transport to D.C., James and Mitchell shared stories of navigating racism in the military. "Excellence is survival," James said, echoing a truth they both knew. At Andrews Air Force Base, a spontaneous honor guard awaited, a tribute to his service. The Pentagon ceremony, now televised, drew leaders and activists. As James received his award, he revealed a bombshell. The Bronze Star was his father's, downgraded in 1953 due to racism. "When it hit the floor today," he said, "it wasn't just metal, it was a legacy." The president, making a surprise appearance, acknowledged the historical wrong, presenting a new Bronze Star. 6 months later, James spoke at the TSA Training Academy. Michael Hayes now led a veteran respect initiative, and Karen Wells, after a reprimand, worked on reforms. Carter, fired and working a warehouse job, watched James on TV, his arrogance replaced by reflection. Henry Davis, honored for his Vietnam service, received a Distinguished Service Cross. Rachel's Veteran Justice Fund supported discriminated veterans, and the Pentagon reviewed 300 cases of biased awards. In Birmingham, James visited his father's grave, placing the restored Bronze Star against the headstone. "It's done, Dad," he said. The local community center, renamed the Thompson Veterans Center, stood as a testament to their legacy. At the airport, a new TSA protocol and a display honoring veterans greeted James. A young agent explained, "Your case is part of our training now." Rachel called as James headed home. "Things change," he told her, "when good people refuse to stay silent." This story isn't just about one man, it's about the fight for dignity against injustice. Have you witnessed disrespect or violence that demanded a stand? Share your thoughts below. Do you believe public confrontations like this spark real change, or should reform happen quietly? Take a stance and let your voice be heard. Your perspective could inspire others to act when it matters most.